It's so close. Well, here we go. These are the cars rolling out onto the grid for our top 16 driver presentation, where we had a singer come and sing the Finnish national anthem. There you go, Nasa Al-Habali, that car out there. Jarkko Jula taking a passenger princess ride around the circuit with Chrissy Alto. Those guys still working on that car in the background, trying to make sure it is 110% for his top 16 battle. So good to see all these drivers out in front of the Finnish fans and get a warm reception, because we know, Jacob, that the Finnish fans are the best from around the world.
Yeah, it's incredible every time we come here, and just so knowledgeable, so enthusiastic about the sport, and they truly love drifting, and they've shown that by coming out in literal droves. It's been amazing. And there are all those drivers lined up. I mean, this is the last bit of relaxation they get, last bit of fun between friends before the visor closes and things get crazy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, this is the last moment. These guys, they get a bit of a laugh, a bit of banter. They chat to the local commentator, wave to the crowds, and then they go back into the paddock. It's reset and get ready to go again, because they now have to head out onto track to do battle, because at the end of today, there's a podium that awaits, and one of these drivers is going to stand on the top step, and the other three will be, well, first, second, and third losers.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, the momentum setter is right now.
Yep.
It could be the difference of a championship lead. It could be Powell continuing to push on. It could make the race a lot tighter. There's so many different things that can happen, but at the midpoint of the season, if you don't have your stuff together now, this is kind of your last shot to really make that championship charge.
It certainly is. Well, let's take a look at the real superstar of the weekend, a brand new circuit at Drift Masters, and we're going to go round the circuit with 3 of Finland's finest drivers.
Hello, welcome to Finland. My name is Lauri Heinonen.
And I'm Juha Rintanen.
My name is Mika Keskikorpi.
Today we are checking out Finland's new Drift Masters track.
We'll show you what stands out and what will challenge the drivers.
I will show what is the special thing in this new track.
So we start the run full throttle, almost like a drag race, aiming to the outside zone 1 on the wall. It's really intimidating. Then you have to switch, aiming to the inside zone 2, which really sets up the pace for the rest of the run.
You come uphill, you aim for the outside corner. This takes a lot of commitment and sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of engines. You have to be fully committed to the wall, which is one of the scariest places of this track.
This is very crucial part of the track, because you have 150 km speed here. From this part you need to be perfect, because there is going to be a wall, but the wall gives you perfect ratio, and then you are going over the finish line. Thanks for joining us for this track preview.
Can't wait for the drivers to battle it out on my home track.
Let's get it started.
Well, there we go, Jacob. That is the circuit here. It's been throwing some upsets, but some points that you want to pick out, and some that really did, play into effect when we got into top 32 battles.
Yeah, it's going to be zone 2 for me, and it's how you set yourself up. When you're in the lead, you do not want to be too far inside on that zone. If you are touching that cone, if you're knocking that bad boy over, you are far too inside, and you are closing the door for the chase driver, and that is not what we want. The inside zones have really been critical throughout this track, but there's been a lot more than that. A zone that has been massively talked about is zone 6, and for a lot of reasons. We've already seen some incidents there, but the big one is drivers having to change up a little bit of the way that they're driving. Obviously, Jack Shanahan crushing zone 6 in qualifying, but came up in the drivers' meeting this morning, and the big talk is, hey, we don't mind you throwing about 90 degrees at it, but don't go too much further, because we don't want you slowing down. It looks amazing, but when it comes to battles, when it comes to head-to-head competition, something like that is going to choke up the chase driver for sure. So just keep it clean, and I mean, really, that hasn't come into play yet. It's more been the incidents at 6 that's kind of messed things up.
It certainly has, Jacob. Well, I tell you what, we've had our starters in Finland. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the main course. It's time for top 16. Well, here we go, a down trackside, ready to kick off our top 16. And we are on the line with Peter Wiensek and Kevin Passer. The man from Estonia will take on this man from Poland. And before we send them off the line, let's hear from Peter Wiensek.
The elevation changes, looks great from the outside, it feels good from the inside. The first corner, if you can call it like that, is pretty much blind 3 times. So it's a great experience, but after the first corner, we got the acceleration part, and then achieving the highest speed, which is around probably 140, 150 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, high speed, high danger, high risk, high reward here in Ahvenisto in Finland as the car slam into gear. It's going to be Kevin Passeur to chase down Peter Wiensek as he gets the green light and leaves the start line ready to rock and roll. A spot in the Grade A awaits as they flick those cars to angle right to the Armco. Passeur tucks up on the inside, waits for Wiensek to get himself settled on outside zone 3 now, starts to make a move, gets even closer, tags the side of Wiensek Supra. Wiensek doing an incredible job down there on outside zone 6 now, places that car into that final outside zone, where Passeur once again tucks up on the door across the line.
This is a really solid chase here from Kevin Passeur. He's changed up things a lot. I mean, we saw him a little bit earlier on with the car, pretty spicy. He had a lot wicked into it. It was really, really quick, but I think they've kind of gone back and loosened it up for him to allow him to drive like this. Piotr just a little bit on the inside, didn't seem too crazy, but look at Kevin Passeur slowly working his way in, waiting for Piotr to unwind that car just a little bit so he can kind of catch back up. And look at this, yeah, I mean, Piotr's doing a great job through there, but Kevin Passeur, he's got to wait a fair bit. I would have liked to have seen him kind of get out to that same zone that Piotr was in. Doesn't quite do that, just kind of hangs out, spectates just a little bit, waits for Piotr to come around, and then makes his dive in through 7. So you can see that right here. He's just waiting for that inside zone, and then he'll get back on throttle to shoot into the side.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Passeur, he kind of technical, took a risk there, cutting the circuit to try and gain that proximity, but he knew if he went wide there, I mean, look at it, this is maybe a little question mark for the judges, a very shallow angle there for Passeur in the chase, and was there contact made on the door of that Supra? We might even see it there in that slow-mo, just missed it, as we see those guys back on the line, ready to rock and roll. Kevin Passeur now to lead out Peter Wiensek for a spot in the Grade A. Only one of them can take it through, and we know that Wiensek wants it, he's hungry for it, knowing that the championship now could all be to fight for as they fire through the gears. Nice initiation from Kevin Passeur as he opens up the throttle. Wiensek on the rear wheel. Look at this. Oh, and a big wobble from Wiensek, and he loses some ground to Kevin Passeur. The Estonian starts to apply the pressure, put foot to floor as he fires down the hill, but Wiensek catches back up, jumps back onto the rear wheel, and the Estonian goes for a dangerous transition, but Kevin Passeur looks absolutely rock steady.
Yeah, Piotr taking a lot of risks in this battle, and I think part of the reason we saw Kevin Passeur with a lack of angle through parts of it is I think he was actually trying to hold the car back a lot. And you're seeing a decent amount of speed out of him now. Doesn't look like anything crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Kevin Passeur looks like he was about to go off track. I think we're going to be watching to see where that smoke line is from that first section of the track to see if Passeur maybe let up because he was going off track. That's just something that I noticed. But yeah, there's a lot of cause and effect in drifting. So if the lead driver does something, the chase driver obviously has to adapt to what that is. So if you see a mistake from the chase, the first thing I look for is, was there a mistake from the lead? So we'll see how that plays out, and yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be interesting. As you say, you spotted that in the replay there, that Passeur looked like he was going off track and made an adjustment, and
yeah,
interesting.
So we're able to see what the judges are looking at. They have a replay monitor. They're able to see every camera angle available to them and be able to go back and forth. And that is the big thing that they're looking at, is what happened with Kevin Passeur coming up the hill before outside zone 3. Did he slow down? Did the smoke trail dissipate? So that might be the difference maker in this entire battle.
Well, it came down to fine margins in our top 32 in some of the battles, and some of the battles wrote themselves, but I feel like top 16 now, we're going to get these battles where they are so clean. And Kevin Passeur, they're playing the drums on the back of that A90 Supra. Wiensek not looking too happy with himself there. I think he looks a little concerned. I think he's worried about maybe some of the little mistakes that crept into the run, whether they were his. Passeur seems very confident.
Well, sometimes in the chase you don't realize that maybe the lead driver has made a mistake, and you notice that you did something, and that's what you're thinking about. So this is what the judges are looking at right now. So you're seeing their replay machine and more or less what angles they're going over. So be interesting. They just swap back to Piotr out in the lead, and they were checking to see if you want to tire off in zone 8. It looks like a little bit, so that's going to be a few points there. And now we can check for Kevin Passeur. Take a look here, just before this zone. See that smoke dissipate? It's just for a second.
But to be honest with you, Jacob, is Peter leaning on Kevin there? Is that what the judges are looking at? Watch this. Look at the front wheel. Look.
Yeah, I'm
Peter is also deep in that zone as well. Look at Peter's rear wheels on that Supra. They are washing wide. Watch this. Watch Peter in the chase.
Yeah.
Little tag, dials on more angle, a wheel over, and then gets back into it.
Yeah, I hear you. I know what you're getting at. I just
there's a tale of two tapes.
There is. I think this is one of those scenarios where maybe there's a bit of a mistake from both.
Kevin Purser now, the nervous look enters his eyes. Well, we could have a decision. It could go at one more time. Slide him left for Viensek, slide him right for Purser. It's Peter Viensek getting the win and advancing through to the Great Eight. And unbelievable stuff. Purser, the chirpiness, the pep in his step kind of dropped away there. When he kind of see the replays, and yeah, I mean, look, a few bits to take from that. We're going to jump to you, David Kalas. A quick decision from you.
Everything comes to the second run where Piotr was chasing up the hill, where we are saying on the briefing that there cannot be any type of deceleration, any type of slowing down, and unfortunately, Kevin was slowing down. There was no smoke coming out of the tire, and he basically cutted the possibility of Piotr to provide a good chase. So then the cutting off the track and trying to get back into that proximity zone, we are not counting as a mistake.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, and there we go. And tough decision, but well,
it's one mistake.
One mistake, that's all it comes down to. You said that at the beginning of the weekend. It's one mistake.
I stole it from David Glass.
You told me it was yours.
Yeah.
There we go. We're back on the line. It's going to be Simon Olsen to take on Benedictus Cerba. Cerba untested yet in competition. Cerba meant to face Shanahan in that top 32 battle. Shanahan unfortunately breaking that tie rod bolt in the tyre warming area. To see what Cerba's got, one of the fastest men around the circuit all weekend. What can he do right now with the Norwegian breathing down his neck as Benedictus Cerba from Lithuania fires that yellow BMW in to angle and up and over the hill. And Simon Olsen can't be shaken as he puts that S14.9 onto the door. A little wobble from Simon Olsen as Cerba fills the stadium with smoke as he now transitions that final outside zone. Cerba on it, but look at Simon Olsen.
Love the way he finished off that run. You know, you got to finish strong. You got to go at it. And yeah, Simon chatted with him during the break. Did let me know that he got a couple of chase runs in behind Cerba in practice earlier on, and he wasn't happy with his performance with it, but said he thinks he knows what he needs to do to make up for it. And Simon's doing a really good job here. You would always love more proximity, but he's doing a great job mirroring. He's following the line that's presented in front of him, and it's so hard to get up on someone's door through 1, 2, and 3. Drivers all told me the same thing. It's basically blind climbing the hill. You have to know where you are on track. You're not seeing the zones until they're basically right in front of you. Once you come to the downhill section, you're presented with everything, and that's really where I think Simon shined. Cerba, though, it is a pretty solid lead run out front. It gave Simon a pretty good opportunity. Yeah,
I've just heard a big groan from the judges.
Okay.
And I'm trying to look back at what they're looking at to try and see where it was that they spotted something that maybe me and you missed.
That does happen.
Yeah.
So
no, can't see what the judges are looking at here. We see some beautiful slow-mo shots from our Red Bull Media House. Phantom slow-mo camera down there. Addy on the ground back this weekend. Incredible stuff. Simon Olsen on the line to lead out Benedictus Cerba. They get the green light to go. Cerba now will be hunting down the side of that S14.9. The 2JZ starts to sing in both of the cars as Cerba now pushes the back bumper, jumps straight up onto the side. A wobble from both guys in outside zone 4. Inside zone 4, sorry, as they now fire down onto the wall. Cerba keeping his cool, dials on the angle, lost in the smoke a little bit. Will he make a brave dive into outside zone 8? He doesn't, and he allows Simon Olsen to drive away from it.
Yeah, Simon did what he needed to do. He did, he got out there. I mean, we'll see what the body language is like. You can often tell how a driver feels like they did pretty early on. So Simon, a hair inside on zone 2. That will cut off Cerba just a bit, but both of them doing a good job. Ooh, did not see that contact earlier on. So Cerba just, I mean, he's got such a quick car, and unfortunately gets up just a little bit into the side of Olsen. Looks like Benedictus over, almost angling more than Simon did, coming through 6. You see both of them absolutely flying down, and there is the view inside the cockpit of the young Norwegian. His 4th gear down to 3rd, as I was talking about earlier. Drivers making different decisions based on engine and gearing, what they want to do. Little touch of understeer there for Simon at the very end. And yeah, popping over that bump. So this looked good. He nailed that inside zone. Cerba just, I think, got lost in the smoke just a little bit. Now he's got to cut that line to be able to get back into it.
Yeah, doesn't really get himself back in the fight, kind of loses a load of ground. Puts big angle on there outside zone 8 and doesn't even get into the zone. He's really shortcutting the track to try and gain any proximity lost there. Unsure how the judges see this one as both guys jump out of the car. And,
Fun one.
Yeah, two smiley guys up there. And we wait to see the universal hand signals there as the judges still kind of deliberate this one and watch back the replays.
German using the wing is a bit of a stand.
Yeah.
Shows you how high that wing is. I love that it's at the level that when he comes through on zone 6, it's knocking the cones off.
It's knocking the cones off.
Yeah,
Here we
big
go.
fan.
Slide him left for Olsen, right for Cherba. It's going to be Benedictus Cherba. Cherba gets the win, advances through to the top 8. Unfortunately, we lose Simon Olsen. And yeah, just a few mistakes creeping in there. Judges saying, yep, Simon Olsen not the cleanest. And Cherba getting the win. Looking strong.
Yeah.
Looking very strong
Looking
this weekend.
strong. Yeah.
There we go, we're back down on the line. Kevin Pascoli, for me, another driver looking unbelievable. He sits on the line in a brand new build for 2026, this 2JZ powered Toyota GR86, sorry, and really saying that now's the time he's feeling it, starting to gel with the car. It took a few rounds, but he's in the moment. Man, I drove this car last year, but has a fresh dress on for 2026. It is that full carbon fiber BMW of Ite Sadas as they come off the line and through the gears. Pascoli to lead them into initiation as he fires it to angle off throttle, but now dances on the pedal as Kevin Pascoli pushes the back end of that GR86 high up onto the hill and down, and he now starts to carry a lot of speed as Ite Sadas looks for the opportunity to dive, to take a bite out of the side of the Hungarian's car, and now he makes the move as Ite Sadas dives into that final outside zone, mirrors the angle and across the line.
Pascoli might be down 200 horsepower over Ite Sadas, but you would have no idea with that run. And that is a brand new engine. And oftentimes when you put a new engine in on a weekend, it's either good for one run or it's good for a while. And thankfully for Pascoli, it seems to be the latter of those two decisions. Solid lead run out front. Ite Sadas just not able to keep up with the pace. And that's really what it felt like throughout this entire run is just Ite didn't find the same groove and wasn't able to keep the keep the proximity at any point in time. Pascoli just went out, ran his own lap, wasn't really concerned with what was behind him, and Ite felt like he was kind of grasping at straws through a large portion of this.
Yeah, you're right. Kevin Pascoli just looked like he was doing a qualifying run.
Yeah, it looked like practice for him, and then Ite, I mean, he cut a couple of zones here and there, but still never really got back into the pocket. I memean, right at the very end, but
yeah,
that's too little too late, unfortunately.
There we go. So the fans come away from the cars and the guys have cooled down, and so is the equipment as Ite Sadas will lead out. And Pascoli a spot in the top 8 away as they stand for the gear. Both cars running no headlights here in Finland. Ite Sadas with a lovely initiation, but look at Pascoli, tucks that car in to initiation straight up onto the door, and now starts to really find the side of that full carbon fiber BMW. A little wobble there, goes for the transition, and Pascoli playing a dangerous game. But can he stick with him on the transition? Oh, he pops through the smoke. Once again, Pascoli playing with fire right now across the line.
Oh man, he's got to be happy with that. That is such a wonderful chase. Especially being able to fight through the smoke from 7 to 8. Like, he was bathing in it for a hot minute. Ite Sadas out front, I mean, good pace all the way through. It's a really good lead run. No big complaints on it. Like, there was no major bobbles, but Pascoli just had more pace in the car. Is really what it kind of came down to. He was able to keep up with them. He had more grip dialed in without the car looking wonky. Just was able to kind of battle all the way through. Pascoli just seems relaxed.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to take away from that. Yeah, that was
transition is nasty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think Pascoli looks like he's just having a normal weekend drive.
Yeah.
He doesn't look stressed in the car. It doesn't look like it's hard work.
Oh man, great transition there. The transition game that's been going on lately has been amazing. I mean, kind of kicked off with Dean and the Shanahans with these super
bumper to bumper transitions.
Everybody's doing it now, so it's a great trend. I'm here for it.
Well, there we go. They're both out of the car waiting for the decision. Who's it going to be? Taking him through to the top 8 to face off against Peter Vienczek of all of the people. As he now starts to make a move. Will it be Pascoli or will it be Sadas? Slide him left. All right, it's going to be Kevin Pascoli taking the win and moving through to the top 8. And look what it means to the Hungarian. He's over the moon, and he says, wow.
I don't know why he's surprised. I think he's surprised with the car.
It's the car, yeah. It's the car. Brand new build for 2026. And a bold move from the BMW with the V8. We didn't see it coming.
A lot of people had some doubts, but I can't have him anymore.
Well, we're in Finland.
Yes, we are.
And we like everything Finnish.
I do like Finland.
Well, these guys like Finland, and I hope they do, because we've got two of the greatest Finnish drivers on the grid right now. Juha Rittinen, the OG of Finnish drifting, the man that carved the way for a lot of these young drivers on the grid, and a young man on the grid right now who is looking to carve his way further than Juha Rittinen ever has. He double punches the steering wheel. It'll be Rittinen to take on Jarkko Jula, but Jula is a wounded deer. There's blood in the water right now because that engine is holding on for dear life. He just changed the engine bearings in the brake between 32 and 16. What can he do as he flicks in that 2JZ power Toyota JZX100 up the hill, a shallow line, but keeps a hold of it. But look at Rittinen biting on the side, looking to take a move as they fire down to outside zone 6. Rittinen absolutely glued to the side of that JZX100. They fire into that final outside zone. Rittinen loses some ground, but Jula gets it across the line.
Jula's on fire. I mean,
not literally.
No, thankfully. I mean, they've been preventing that all weekend. But when you're in that situation where you feel like this engine could go at any time, you just drive it. You don't care. You're just like, I'm just going to go out because this could be it. And that's really what it felt like here. Fantastic line. Look at this inside zone. I mean, just a fantastic line on a big car too. That's, I think, the biggest thing you got to remember is, like, this thing's going to rotate a little bit slower. It's got a lot more overhang, but use it to his advantage. And look at Rintinen's in car. I mean, he's trying to get in there. He's trying to be all over him through every part of the zone, but Jarkko Jula, he's got a great pace all the way through, not making a ton of corrections, very predictable. And Rinttinen does close the gap a little bit later on, but definitely takes him a hot minute to do so.
Yeah, it certainly does. The only thing I can take away from that, to be brutally honest with you, is Jarkko Jula a little shy in some of them zones.
Yeah, that's all right.
You forgive him?
Giving us flowers, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna pick up a little bit of pace, but I think Juha Rittinen still could be closer. Let's find out. Swap around.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to swap them around. It's going to be Juha Rittinen to lead out Jarkko Jula. The spot in the top 8 awaits for one of these drivers. Only one Finnish driver making it through to the top 8. Who will it be? Will it be the OG? Will it be the young blood? As Jarkko Jula fires that JZX100 up onto the door, the GR86 as they fire through and over the hill and down to outside zone 5. Bits of the bumper missing as Jarkko Jula goes for it, but gets misplaced on the wrong position in circuit. Now jumps back into it, goes for the front wheel. Oh, bumper's missing. Body panel shredded, tires across the line.
Whew. Spicy. Very, very spicy. Well, let's take a look at this, and yeah, it's definitely an interesting one because there's a lot going on, especially between 5 and 6, and hopefully be able to kind of highlight some of that for you. But right now, we'll take a look at this drone view. Oh, look at Juha Rittinen on the inside. From our first camera angle, it's really, really tough to see that, but let's slow things down here if we can as we start to head out to zone 5. And you can see that Jarkko Jula just gets caught out a little bit too early. He's on this trajectory here, and he's got absolutely nowhere that he can go. He's just got to hit on the brakes and then wait for Juha Rittinen to clear the rest of this zone and come back around, and then he can get back into the pocket. But for him right now, when you're caught in no man's land like that, there's nowhere left to go, and you'll see that here with the rest of this replay. He just has to wait for Juha Rittinen to wrap up that part of the corner before he can get into the battle. And then he's still on a tighter line. Even when they get into 8, like that shows you make a mistake there, it's going to haunt you for the rest of the run.
Rest of it, yeah, exactly that. Once it tightens in one position, there's no way of widening it. And Juha Rittinen doing a good job dealing with that as we see Jarkko Jula. Look at this jump through the smoke.
Yeah.
Contact on the front wheel, shreds the bumper, and Rittinen props the experience, the multiple battles. Didn't affect him whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, he's an OG. I mean, in Drift Masters, well over 80 over 80 battles, at least what I got on my stat sheet. So he's been doing this for some time, and the experience shows.
It certainly does. Will we go down there? Oh yeah, Jarkko Jula down there, and we are hearing word that Jarkko Jula's car is leaking. Maybe leaking some oil.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're gonna. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, sweating. Well, I'm not surprised. It's been under pressure all weekend, that's for sure. And 5 sets of bearings, but who will be taking it through to the top 8? It's going to be Juha Rittinen. Juha Rittinen gets the win and advances through to the top 8. And the Finnish fans enjoy that one. So do all right. So here we go, back on the line again. Big championship one here in the balance. Pavel Korpelinski sits on the line nervous, waiting to do battle with the Irishman, but before we send him off the line, let's have a word with Pavel Korpelinski.
I'm really happy to see a new track in Drift Masters calendar. I like new tracks because they are always challenging, and especially this track looks super fun because of the elevation changes. We have never experienced that before in Drift Masters, so I'm really happy to see that the track, and I'm happy to be back in Finland.
Well, he might be happy to be back in Finland, but he certainly won't be happy to be sitting alongside this young man, Alan Hines from Ireland, looking very strong and looking like he's making moves this weekend, hungry for a podium. The man who does need a podium or wants a podium is the surgeon. Pavel Korpelinski leads the championship. Can he keep a hold of it right now? And look at this from Alan Hines, straight up onto the front wheel. Oh, and just avoids contact as Korpelinski stands on the accelerator. Fires that S14A over the hill, but look at Alan Hines glued to the door of Pavel Korpelinski as they fire into outside zone 6. Hines is mirroring every single move, loses some ground into outside zone 8, but can he claw it back? And he can across the line.
Wow, Hines with the aggression, and I think Powell started to realize that partway through and then starts to try and drag Alan Hines into deep water and goes, okay, kid, let's go. Oh, man, Powell gives every opportunity for Alan Hines to be able to put on a chase like that, too. And you can see Alan just trying to figure out the best spot to be in. He wants to get into the pocket. He has some moments where he's really in there quite tight, but you do get caught out a little bit. And when you're that close to a car, a bit of panic can kind of set in as well. And look at Pavel Korpelinski gets back on the power here. Alan Hines did such a great job of mirroring, keeps the proximity. This is, I mean, definitely the best chase we've seen. Oh, he got caught out with some contact. That's what it ended up being. So Alan, too far on the inside, it looks like, from that transition. Now the question will be, was Powell not at the correct part of that inside zone, and that's why Alan was where he was. So we'll catch some replays here in a minute. This is what the judges are looking up as well. So Powell, he takes a wider line.
Takes a wider line and swings the car into 8. The judges are looking at that right now, and I wonder if they thought that maybe Pavel Korpelinski was braking in the lead position at inside zone 7, which is a no-go. It was spoken about in the driver's briefing. But here we go, second run to find out who will be taking it through to the top 8 as they fire through the gears. Alan Hines leads them in. Big handbrake drag, but gets himself back onto it. Korpelinski tags the rear wheel of Alan Hines, S14.9. He goes a little wide and bumps over the curb, but stays in it as Korpelinski now gives him the room to manoeuvre. A wobble once again from Alan Hines, and it's shallow on outside zone 6. Hines tries to get himself back in that qualifying line as he puts it deep into outside zone 8, and Korpelinski loses ground as well.
Back and forth, just back and forth all the way through as we check that onboard of Korpelinski. A little bit of concern on his face there. Alan Hines' car is as fast as I think it's ever been. You can see it just on the initiation. He gets on throttle and that car immediately wants to start shooting straight. He wrangles it back in, he shoots a little bit off track. He is fighting this car all the way through the battle. Yeah,
you can see, look at the corrections there, and also notice how he's over those inside zones and shallow on the outside zones. Now, I don't know whether that's because they grip the car up so much to try and drive away from Korpelinski, or if that's just how maybe the track has evolved. We got into this yesterday in qualifying, and we both never really come to a full-blown conclusion of what was going on. But
a couple of drivers that I did chat with said that as the suns come in and out, the track changes very quickly. Where if we get a bunch of direct sunlight, it'll go one way. I mean, we're in some overcast now, but I have a feeling that they knew that Powell's super fast, and they want to make sure they could keep up with him, and maybe it's the grippiest setup that Alan's driven, but made it look great in the chase, struggled a little bit in the lead.
Certainly so. Well, we're going to decide who goes through. Well, not me and Jacob. No. Panel of judges, David Kalas, Tormo Levomagi, and Rasmo Rias, and Chris Witowski out EVS, fourth judge down there. They're going to be sliding it left for Korpelinski or right for Hines. It's going to be Pavel Korpelinski, keeps the championship hope alive and moves one step closer to another podium here at Drift Masters as he gets himself a step into the top 8.
Yeah, huge for his championship run right now, too. Every single battle right now is going to feel like a weight lifted off his shoulders.
It certainly is. Well, Jakub Puszczonski will want to be making moves as well, but will he want to face his fellow Polishman in the top 8? Probably not, but I'll tell you who will do. That is Oliver Randlew. Oliver Randlew hasn't made a podium for a while. He'll be looking for a little bit of redemption, trying to get a taste of that champagne back on that race suit as he now sits on the line in that lead position, the higher qualifier. Opts to lead first as Oliver Randlew in that M50 Turbo E46 BMW, slams through the gears. The Estonian leads in the Polishman as Pavel, as Jakub Puszczonski making some moves. Look at this, already aggressive on the side of the Estonian's BMW. Tagging the door. Oh, what a big transition, a big mistake from both drivers. This is a little scrappy from the Estonian and the Polishman as they fire into that final outside zone. Puszczonski jumps onto the door and across the line.
Great correction there for Kuba on zone 8. Love the way that he fell back into place. But yeah, both of them just trying to fight each other pretty hard through a lot of this run. This is the aggression I wanted out of Kuba. This is what we've been talking about all year. He needed to bring this back to the fight. He needs to start just dooring people. And for Oliver Randalou, I mean, unfortunately for him, this is the time that it happened. Both of them coming through here. Oliver pulls a bunch of angle out of the car. Kuba responds as well. Catch a bit understeer there for Randalou. You can really see, takes a minute. So when the car is loaded up coming up the hill, he's fighting the grip a lot. And then once it unloads, it seems to be a little bit better. Coming down through here. So let's see if we can spot anything.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you saw what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randalou was.
I didn't see that mistake from the other angle.
Well, and this is why, I mean, the drone really doesn't lie, but
no.
For me, it looked like Randalou took a long time to get the car transition out. Kuba kind of got caught out during that period. So we'll see what the judges think, but we got one more half of this battle to go.
We certainly have, as Kuba Puszczonski now leads out Oliver Randalou in that B58 powered Toyota GR86, slams through the gears, that Red Bull car flicks to angle, gets himself up, set up nicely, but look at Randalou, he's not going to go down without a fight. The Estonian absolutely on the door of the Polishman's GR86. They come flying through into outside zone 5 as they transition to 6. This is beautiful lead line from Kuba Puszczonski right now, but look at the chase from Randalou as Randalou looks to glue himself to the door one more time across the line.
Oh man, both of them going for what they needed to do. I mean, we got a little bit of inside baseball at the last round that Randalou, his display he uses more just to watch the battles back. So he might have already had it loaded up, knew what he wanted to do. Spotter in his ear telling me you gotta take it to him. You gotta make sure that the judges only have one decision to make. But Kuba, he is back. I'm so happy to see how he is driving right now. We were concerned in practice. We were concerned even through qualifying, but a lot more aggression in his driving. He's getting to be a little bit more wild again. He can be so cold and calculated through most of his driving, but having fun again. Oliver Randalou doing a good job. Ooh, I wasn't sure if he got caught up there too. Yeah, bumper to bumper, the old tip to tail. It just shows how hard you need to push at this level, at this point in competition. Let's see, was there any contact?
Yeah, looking for any mistakes or any contact, and this is no
just
contact.
Really close.
Yeah, I think Randall, yeah, you can just see on the handbrake there, just slowed that car down ever so slightly to avoid any contact, and both guys doing a really good job for me. Randalou just bringing the proximity.
Yeah, judges going back and discussing the first battle with Randalou in the lead and trying to figure out that bit of a wonky situation between 5 and 6 and how they want to play that and if it's going to be a difference maker in this battle. I feel like it might, considering how close that second half of the battle was.
Yeah, maybe coming down to just that for the judges to make a decision. Randalou and Puszczonski out of the car, both guys got thumbs up, both ready to receive a decision as they wave to the Finnish fans. Who will be taking it through to the top 8? Slide them left for Randalou, right for Puszczonski. It's going to be the Estonian Oliver Randalou gets the win and advances through to the top 8. He'll be facing off against Pavel Korpelinski, and that one will be a heater of a battle.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. The top 8 is already getting pretty spicy.
Yeah, so here we go. We're almost ready to head back down to the start line for Jack Shanahan. But before we do, Jane's down there with Connor Shanahan, who unfortunately bowed out of competition in top 32.
Connor Shanahan, what a heartbreak for you. Can you please walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, pretty crazy situation. Something that we definitely didn't want to get ourselves into. But yeah, just warming up the tires, same routine as always. And unfortunately snapped a bolt, what holds the tie rod to the hub. Crazy. First time ever in my career that something has happened like that in the burnout box. So yeah, it hurts a lot, but unfortunately that's the joys of the game. Sometimes stuff goes right, some stuff goes wrong, and it is what it is.
Well, it's been a few hours now. Can you describe your feelings? How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, of course, at the time it was a lot of raw emotion. Put a lot of work into this weekend, especially after a bad result in Mondello. I came here hungry, and Felt like in today's practice, I was one of the strongest cars in the track. We were doing a really good job, so that makes it a little bit more annoying that we knew that we had a lot left in the tank to give. So, yeah, it sucks. Unfortunately, you know, I think the crazy thing about this sport is no matter how much you prepare, a part what costs €3-4 can take you out of a weekend. So it sucks that it's like that, but you know, at the end of the day, it's drifting, and you know, after Nazar's crash, I seen everybody there helping him to get back on track. And this weekend outside of driving has been one of the most funnest weekends that I've had at the track, playing soccer, playing hurling with my friends, with the Falvies, and with the whole family and the gang. So there's positives. It sucks in a championship race situation, but I'll be back and I'll keep fighting.
It sounds good. Jack is there facing Jason Benet. Any predictions about that battle?
Yeah, I think Jack is very suited to this track. I love when Jack drives like this. He's really in his comfort zone here. It's wild, it's a lot of flair, and I think we can expect big things from today. So one Shanahan left, and yeah, one Shanahan is as dangerous as the other. So let's go, Jack, go all the way, buddy.
Thank you, Connor, and we see you in Riga.
Thank you.
Well, there we go, and Jack Shanahan is on the line, thumbs up and a fist bump to the camera. It's been 1,077 days before since he's won an event here at Drift Masters, and the way he's driving this weekend, it wouldn't surprise me if he could take it all the way, but he's got to go through a steely competitor in this Frenchman that is Jason Benet in a very similar piece of machinery, a Subaru BRZ with that 2JZ, slams it into gear. Benet will want to take down the man that everybody has looked up to, driving a very similar chassis. They come off the line and through the gears. Shanahan hammers that car into action as he fires it towards the wall. Benet mirrors the initiation and mirrors the angle as they work their way up the elevation and down the other side. Benet on the rear wheel hits Shanahan and puts him into an over rotation.
Oh, we got a tire off. Man. Just aggressive. Very, very aggressive from Jason Benet. And you need to be. You have to be going against Jack Shanahan. Jack wondering what was going on. It's tough to say when you're in the lead like that. You don't know what's going to happen, and next thing you know, you're facing the wrong way on track.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to see if Jack's car is okay, and our Ahvenisto track staff down there just with Jack now. It's going to see if he needs recovery. Judges will have to deem fault. And they are already looking at the replay. You can see there, yeah, tyre completely off the wheel. So wow. Jack unable to get out of the grass. And that rear wheel absolutely destroyed. But, I mean, to say that was a wheel hit at 140 kilometers an hour.
Probably, yeah.
That wheel was held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's going to get himself out, yeah. Jack's not scared.
It's fine, I'll take it back.
Yeah, so there we go. News just in. Jason Benet deemed at fault for the incident, and kind of see it going that way, but obviously we're not the people to call it, Jacob. We are just giving everyone our opinions.
Yeah, Benet is trying to hold that car back for so long. You can see the left foot braking, and he's just on a tighter line is what it is, and you got to adapt to the lead driver. Jack's going fast, but you could tell even earlier on in that run that Jason Benet's car is as wicked up as it's ever been. You can see here, look, it catches a bit of understeer, or pulls some angle out really to try and gain proximity, and he's just barely faster. Look at the bits of car flying up in the air.
Yeah, crazy. And a nervous spin probably for Jack Shanahan, knowing that the concrete wall is not far away from where those guys spun. That is outside zone 5.
Yeah, I'm happy it kind of happened where it did, and not in transition when you're flying out towards a concrete wall that's not going to be moving.
We're going to see the onboard here.
Full limiter too.
Jack tries to hold on to it. Even
he was still trying.
He looks out. Even
he grabs another gear.
Down 2 gears. He's like, I could keep going.
He was ready to dig out of that at any second.
That's the Jack Shanahan mentality.
Oh my gosh, never give up. This is actually a great view to show you how the elevation is, and how dynamic it is, and how they come across and then go downhill again. But wow, there it is. That tire rolled over, thankfully caught. Of course, Addy got that shot. Oh man.
So we go Shanahan down in the paddock now.
I think no, because I think it's only this way. Yes.
Benet obviously deemed a fault, so Shanahan allowed to fix the car.
I'm hoping they can just throw a wheel on it and get back out there.
Yeah, but they're going to want to check the alignment.
Yeah.
110%.
Well, and here's the thing. In Irish drifting, if you want an alignment, that's the man you go to.
Yeah,
Jack Shanahan sets up so many cars, and actually probably outside of Ireland, all over the world. So they're going to get 10 minutes on the clock for them to be able to get hands on this vehicle. And once they do, that clock starts. Now, hopefully it's just tires that he's able to throw on here. And he's a hands-on kind of guy. He's going to make sure.
Well, there we go. Timer starts, and the clock now ticks down. The 10-minute competition timeout granted to Jack Shanahan for the contact. Look at this, the string already going on, and if you've ever seen the Shanahans or any of the Irish guys align a car, the simplest way ever, but the most effective way to get the job done.
He actually he taught me last year when I was in Ireland. I hung out in the shop. I won't reveal the secrets, but it involves a couple of sockets and a big piece of string, and that's it. And his alignments are world-renowned. So yeah, they're going to get some new tread on that vehicle. They are going to check that alignment. Hopefully the toe in the rear is okay. If not, they'll do a visual inspection first just to make sure that everything is good. As we see our picture-in-picture there of Nasser Al-Habali, another driver having to get a lot of hands on his vehicle, able to pull up to the line against the one, the only James Dean.
Yeah, so Nasser Al-Habali, we are going to move forward to that battle while the Shanahan crew down there get that car fixed and repaired. You can see even Connor Shanahan down there out of the race suit and just getting involved with his brother's car. He wants his brother to take it all the way to the podium, so looks like he may have a little bit of an advantage in that battle. We're going to move it back to the start line, as we say. James Dean pulls into the lead position. Nasser Al-Habali asked to chase as James Dean slams the door closed on that Ford Mustang RTR. And I just want to say a massive congratulations to all of the teams that helped get Nasser Al-Habali back out, because this was the scene earlier in the pits. It wasn't just Nasser Al-Habali's team. There was Clint Van Or's team down there, the Shanahans, the Piscottis. It had DBM Engineering down there. They were all working on the car. And again, look here, giving the string kit out and aligning that car with some string to make sure it's right. Nasser said he tested the car, it kind of worked all right, and we're going to see now what he can do against probably the greatest drifter of all time.
Yeah, he's going to take her home with one headlight.
He certainly is. He starts to creep off the line and get the green light to go. It's going to be Dean to lead Al-Habali, the man from El Salvador. Is going to throw down as hard as he can right now as he puts that car right to the side of the Mustang. Dean on a perfect lead line at the moment, pushes that car right to the edge of the circuit. But look at Nasser Al-Habali. He's not going to get up without a fight this weekend, that's for sure, as they transition to outside zone 16. Flex in the back end of the Mustang on the wall as he fires to the final outside zone. Habali through the smoke, looking for the door and on the rear wheel.
It's just Nasser getting around the track. For him right now, that is the win for the weekend. That's incredible. But on top of that, he threw down a heck of a chase run against James Dean, who's since practice, since the first moment he's been out on track, has looked incredible. And no doubt from a driver with 166 battle wins in his Drift Masters career, just to give you an idea of how incredible his legacy has already been. But look at Nasser. I mean, all the confidence in the world. He's there. He's right there. That is incredible to see. Great transition. The car looks snappy. Alignment seems to be fine. I know they were trying to figure out coilovers and figure out what could fit on the car, and I think it's a bit of a hodgepodge of parts. So they got things sorted.
Yeah, certainly have. And like I said to Nasser when we went down to the paddock area in the break between 32 and 16, he said, I'm not sure how it's going to drive. I'm not sure if it's going to be any good. I said, hey, sometimes those cars that are thrown together in a 5-minute rule are the best cars to drive. And he said, actually, now you say that, when my old car was damaged, he puts his hand up.
Oh, interesting. I wonder.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if something happened at the finish line, and that's what Nasser was kind of concerned about.
Yeah,
that was
I'm
weird.
Sure. Well, there we go. 6-minute clock ticks down, and looks like the team have got it dialed. You can see the team over there from Falvey and Egan helping out as well, fellow Irishmen. The door gets closed on James Dean's Mustang. His opportunity now to chase down Nasser Al-Habali starts to creep. He gets the green light. Habali to lead out James Dean as he smokes the tyres on the back of that carbon Kevlar Nissan 400Z. Fires to initiation and up and gone on throttle as James Dean now starts to chase down the man from El Salvador as he puts it on to the rear bumper. Deep into outside zone 5 goes Nasser Al-Habali as he puts that car right where it needs to be. Stands at the throttle once again, but you can't be shaking James Dean off, that's for sure. He's hungry for it as Dean parks it on the door and across the line.
It's a pretty heads-up battle.
Yeah.
Nice and clean. I mean, no drama, but a beautiful lead, a beautiful chase. Both of them with really good proximity. I mean, I think it's pretty comparable. You start to see him come up the hill. Nasser just a little bit on the inside of zone 2, over the crest of zone 3, and there's James Dean where he starts to bring in that legendary chase game, a bit of a twitch. Nasser Al-Habali, as he realized he might have caught a bit too much on that inside clip, and there they are, completely parallel. And then you see the wheel unwind for Nasser, trying to get that car to weave into zone 7. A lot of ABS-style handbrake pulling. You don't want to flat spot the tires on and off that handbrake, just to make sure you know where the grip is. And one more time, another decel spot through zone 8. Here you go. Gives you an idea of the amount of people here this weekend and the speeds as they come through zone 6. Absolutely stunning. Great transition from both of them. I love how James gets back on the throttle as he's transitioning to make sure that he can regain that proximity. Coming over our little Konami jump there. Now, there was talk about having the finish line at the jump. Maybe next year, I'm putting my vote in for it.
Yeah?
Yeah. They never listen to me, but...
you're going to try anyway.
You got to put it into the universe, and you never know what happens.
Put it out there and see what happens. Well, incredible either way, wherever this decision goes, that Nasser Al-Habali and the crew managed to get that car done, and James Dean and Nasser out of the car. And you know what, Nasser probably thought the weekend was over when he had that incident, but slide him left for Habali, right for James Dean, who's going through to the top 8. It's going to be James Dean! James Dean gets the win, advances through to the top 8. And Nasser Al-Habali, a smile on his face once again.
Yeah, and well-deserved. I mean, he's got a little bit more time now. Not that much time, or what, 10 days, something like that, away from stepping foot in Riga. So not a lot of time left, but yeah, speaking of not a lot of time left, 3 minutes and 35 seconds for Jack, who is in the cockpit, gloves on. Brother, giving him a bit of a pep talk.
Yeah, so Shanahan's down there. It looks like they are ready to rock and roll. Yeah, car's getting fired up with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the timer, and a fresh wheel on the car after that contact with Jason Benet, and Shanahan will make his way back down to the tyre warming area, get those tyres scrubbed and back out onto the start line to do battle once again with Jason Benet in the chase position this time.
Yeah, he's going to see James Dean parking the car after his win, and if Jack wins this, that's the man he's going against. So, you know, a friendly wave now and then a stare down a little bit later on. Jason Benet waiting in the wings. Jack's going to get some time to scrub those brand new tires in. Jason will he'll be given a little bit of time to scrub as well.
Yeah, Jason Benet not allowed to touch his car, so he was parked down there on the grid before the tyre warming area to make sure that the car wasn't touched, that none of his team got hands on that car, because he was deemed at fault for that contact, and we see it from that overhead drone shot. Benet just taking the wheel. Yeah, look at this. Benet can't really afford to do too much in there because he doesn't want to risk having no tyre for the end of the run. He has to chase. He has to.
He did only get half a run.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
He has to lead out Shanahan now. So he wants as much tyre on that car as possible, and Shanahan looks like everything's all in good shape and ready to rock and roll. So Shanahan pulling up to the line. Jason Benet pulls into the lead position. Will Shanahan play this one safe, or will he drive angry?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, only Jack knows. Jason might find out, but only Jack knows. Yeah, I think you play it. You got to play it a little bit safe. You got to, take a half a car length out and just kind of play it to the back wheel as opposed to putting it in the door. But that is not the Jack Shanahan style. So we'll see. I mean, over the years, he's gotten better. Jack a few years ago would just door everybody no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up for Benet, and let's see how it plays out.
Well, there we go. The light goes green, and we are off the line with Jason Benet, the Frenchman, in that Subaru BRZ to lead out Jack Shanahan. Both guys flick to initiation, and Shanahan does give Jason Benet some room to maneuver. Benet wheels off. Bumps over the curb. Wheel ride and almost contact once again. And Jason Benet's car is not 110%. I think, I think the front coilover may be damaged on that car.
Yeah, that's
with the contact. I think when he made the contact with Jack's rear wheel, he maybe broke a suspension part.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're not, if you're the one that's deemed at fault, you don't even get a chance to put hands on this. There's.
Oh, he's DB'd.
Well, I think DB'd went going up.
Off the track, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here.
See it here, yeah.
Initiation looked good. Gets back. It takes him a minute to get back on power. The car's already going wide though.
Yep. I think he DB'd it on initiation.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if we can get that. It's from an angle I don't think we hit very often, but. Yeah, if we could look down. Oh yeah, that's already DB'd it. You think now? Do you think maybe?
Bam.
We do have it.
Initiation.
Oh, man, you're good. There you go. Great job.
Seen it too many times.
Yeah. I wonder.
And he wouldn't have been allowed to change tyre pressures either. So just putting it out there would be no touching of Jason Benet's car at all. So I wonder, did he get a puncture?
You beat me too.
Yeah, I knew you was going to say it, so I thought I'd say it first. Did he get a puncture?
Small one.
On the first, and it slowly drops pressure. He went out. There was enough to warm the tyre. As soon as he got to initiation, boom.
And you have to remember, these tires are built to run almost flat. Like you can have zero pressure in them, and they will still drive.
Just going to say.
Yeah.
Those strong wheels. Oh, so strong.
Yeah, it's he's held up. Yeah,
they're taking a battering this weekend. Here we go. It's going to slide only one way. It's going to be Jack Shanahan getting the win. Jason Benet still with a smiling. That Frenchman is so hard to see up. He's never upset, Jacob.
Yeah.
He's always smiling. He's always happy. Yeah, look at that. That wheel is going to take a bit more of a beating as it goes back to the track. But hey, it's holding up well, that's for sure, as he makes his way off circuit. And here we go. This is how our top 8 looks. It's exciting.
It's super exciting. It's super, super exciting. I mean, Piotr Benedictus Cherba, that's wild. Cherba is just absolutely on it. Piscotty, Juha Rintanen, man.
Pavel Korbalinski, Oliver Randalou, Jack Shanahan, James Dean. This isn't a final. This is the top 8.
Every battle is a final from here on out. That's just how this is lined up. And we are all the beneficiaries of an incredible, incredible weekend.
We certainly are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stay where you are. Don't go anywhere. It's time for our top 8. Well, we're back on the line straight away, and we are ready to rock and roll. Benedictus Cherba sits on the line, staring across at a man that he's probably idolised for many years, who's been standing on the top step of the podium. This is, of course, Peter Wiensek, but Wiensek now has his eyes set on one prize, and that is the podium this weekend, because he knows that most of his championship rivals are still in the fight, except for one. If he could do some damage this weekend, he could be leading the championship heading into Riga in Latvia in just 10 days' time. But he's got to go through the Lithuanian Benedictus Cherba first. As they come off the line, both the two JZ cars scream and they fire to angle. Look at this from Cherba on the front wheel, almost over-rotates, but dials it back in, and he does almost over-rotate. Contact as Cherba drops down on the inside. Jacob sits up because he wants to know what's going on there. Cherba still in this one, fires through the smoke as Peter Wiensek puts into that final outside zone. We're on the white line and across the line.
So I'm wondering, now that we have that cloud cover, if we're losing some of the grip out of the track that these drivers were expecting.
Oh, I'm watching the wrong camera angle.
Okay.
Watch this.
Yeah. Piotr immediately starts going wide. Now he gets out on the rumble strip.
Leads Cherba out.
Yeah, Cherba's doing what he needs to do. He's following the lead. Yeah, I like it when we do that.
Twins.
I know, harmony. And then Cherba he's just got to battle back at that point. But Piotr is already, what do you got?
Look at Cherba's angle when he fires that car in, because he wants to be on the tighter radius.
Yeah.
Peter fires the car in, but the car doesn't react. Cherba fires the car in, puts more steering angle into the car because he knows that radius has to flow that way. Wiensek fires the car in, the car doesn't react.
Yeah, it's not biting forward, it's just continuing to float out. And then Cherba, he's just spending the rest of this battle trying to get back in. Piotr knows he made a mistake, guaranteed, and it's just like, I'm gonna try and put down the best lead I can from here on out.
Well, yeah, look, there's the damage already done. We're back on the line, ready to rock and roll. Cherba to lead out. Wiensek for a spot in the final 4. Who will take it through? And look at this, the Polishman is absolutely in the zone as they fire into initiation. Wiensek goes for a wild one, but Cherba is on a flyer. Wiensek goes deeper into outside zone 4 than anyone else as they fire down the hill. Cherba is on an absolute perfect lead run, but he can't shake the Polishman as Wiensek dives through the smoke onto the door of the BMW. They stand on the pro across the line.
Wow. It's almost frustrating because Piotr's chase run, his chase run was incredible. The patience he had and how he predicted what Turbo was going to do is just next level. And Turbo's got such a great lead run all the way through this. Look, he's on the left foot brake immediately, just trying to get that car fed up the hill. And there, Piotr is actually deeper through zone 3 than Turbo was. Take a look. There he is. Turbo's already trying to unwind it. Piotr's got tons of angle. And we start to come down through the rest of this. Turbo takes a fair time to get the car transition back around. Piotr does a great job of adapting to what that situation is. And then he's in the pocket and he just stays there. There he is, hyper-focused, down a gear, back on the handbrake, and it's just, yeah, it's one, and then I just kind of resetting where the handbrake is. I don't know if you got a bit of a check in there. Ooh, really see Turbo's car bouncing around after that.
The jump at the end of the...
Oh, that's what that was.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, telling you, finish line right there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You might have to repair the cars after.
That's not my problem. I'm here for the entertainment, baby, not the wrenching. Yeah, Piotr's just such a monster in the chase, and does such a great job.
Yeah, I feel like we were robbed of a very beautiful first half of the battle. Interested to see what way this goes. Look at Jensek.
Does get in there, just a body flex. Yeah, coming across the line.
Addy down there, just making the magic happen with his Phantom Slow-Mo camera, and once again, Red Bull TV delivering the goods. Jensek, that half smile on his face when he knows that it didn't really work out.
Yeah, he's the little
Judges still taking their time a little bit here. Turbo maybe thinks this one is in the bag. Jensek, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. We're going to find out. Decision's in, left for Turbo, right for Jensek. It's going to be Benediktus Turbo. Benediktus Turbo gets himself in to the final 4. And again, this championship throws in another upset. As Turbo celebrates and makes his way back to the car, we're going to come to you, David Kalas. It seemed simple, but it was so fine line.
We are so unhappy because the second run was amazing from both drivers, but everything comes to the first run where Piotr completely misses inner zone. He washes out, he goes even braking there, and he basically takes off any possibility from Benediktas to be able to chase. So at that moment, we cannot blame Benediktas for that separation, and that was a huge mistake, which basically cost Piotr his going through this competition.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, and there we go. And we go back on the line, and you wonder why the Finnish fans are cheering. Well, they're cheering for their home hero, Juha Rittinen. He used to live under 100 kilometers away from the racetrack. Apparently, when he was a young man, he used to visit here many, many times, every month. Wow. And now look at him, representing Finland in Drift Masters here on his home track. A man that designed the layout here. Well, he sits on the line. Look at this. Rittinen is in the zone, but this won't be an easy battle. He has got Hungarian's finest to lead him out. It is, of course, Kevin Pascotti in the 2JZ-powered GR86. Two identical machinery, two different drivers from two different parts of Europe. What can they do? As Pascotti puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, but Juha Rittinen is with him the whole way. This is mirror image as Juha Rittinen goes for an early transition. Pascotti puts that car right to the edge of the circuit, flicks it back for the final outside zone. Rittinen needs to get himself in the fight, and he can't across the line.
Yeah, Pascotti, everything looked really, really good. Just a bit of a mistake there in zone 8, and Juha Rittinen, we got to get that aggression back, man. We need you right in the pocket the whole time. A little bit safe through a few parts of this track. I do like the way that he initiates. He does a really good job of waiting for Pascotti to come around before he jumps in. And another driver washing a little bit wide. Kevin just maybe not finding that side bite that he was hoping for as they come over the crest now. You are hanging tight here and then going for that dive in. You still need to try and collect those other zones, and that might come back to haunt him a little bit later on. See here, Juha not wanting to get into too much of a conflict, and that's the hard part when you're chasing first too, is like you don't want to create an incident.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to be at fault for something. Sometimes when you're chasing second, you're like, okay, cool, I can throw everything at this. As long as we make it over the finish line, that's all that matters. So a bit of a mentality change there for Juha, but Scotty looks good. Only spot there, just a little bit wide through the ending of the course.
Yeah, I wondered if there was anything that kind of caused that separation in outside zone 8, but it just looked like delay on the transition and a little check-up from Juha Rittinen. Well, he's on the line now and he has to lead out Kevin Pascotti as the Hungarian feels like it might be job done. They slam through the gears. Juha Rittinen to lead him out as he flicks that car across the circuit. Now it's tit for tat as Kevin Visconti now starts to mirror the image, mirror the angle, mirror the line as they fire through the top end of the track. And look at this from Visconti. He's closer than Rittinen, and he makes a huge mistake. Visconti catches himself out on the inside, and now Rittinen allowed to fire into that final outside zone. Almost an over-rotation, but he keeps it on track.
It's almost the same mistake. The difference is how each of them adapted to it.
Yeah.
And Visconti, unfortunately, did not do as good of a job as Rittinen did. And for Juha, this is a bit of a saving grace that's just hit him. A little bit tight there on zone 2 as they come up over the crest on zone 3. Visconti's looking really good. Juha a bit inside again. As we come out here, yeah, it's just, Visconti's just very, very aggressive through there. He's in really tight, and then transitions just a bit early, and then I mean, it's not even an understeer, it's kind of a counter steer.
It's a counter steer,
yeah. He's just trying to figure out when he can kind of get back into this. Big mistake. It's super unfortunate because I think up until that point he had this battle on lock, and now there's going to be a lot more doubt as to where this decision ends up going. Man,
yeah, huge mistake.
That's all it takes, unfortunately, in drifting. There's no second lap to regain it. You know, there's not another sector to pick up a 10th. It's just, you make a mistake and you live with it.
And there we go, both guys down there, ready to receive the decision from our judges. And we can see them just taking a look back at the replay of some of these parts of the circuit. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, they are looking at the line of Juha Rittinen from 5 to 6. So I wonder what they're trying to look at here, Jacob, as we take a look over their monitor.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a few things. It's just making sure the lead didn't close the door or something like that.
Well, here we go. It looks like decision might be dropping in from our judges. As Juha Rittinen waves to the crowd.
Yeah, still taking a look.
And decision is in. It's going to be Juha Rittinen getting the win, and the local hero gets the win against the Hungarian Kevin Visconti. Visconti knew where it went wrong. Visconti made that mistake on the transition, and he threw that back himself.
Yeah, he had everything up until that point, and it's unfortunate. It's super unfortunate, but for the local fans, they're super stoked.
They're still winning.
Yeah.
They're still winning in their eyes. We go back on the line. Another big championship fight is on the line. It's going to be Pavel Korpelinski to lead out Oliver Randalou. Pavel Korpelinski, the surgeon, wants to keep this going. He wants to and needs to get into the final 4 to claim as many points as he can to keep a hold of that championship fight and lead the championship into Riga. They get the thumbs up, Randalou from Estonia to chase down the Polishman as they come off the line and through the gears. The BMW E46 smokes the tyres already as they fire to angle. Pavel Korpelinski puts that car right where it needs to be, but that opens the door for Oliver Randalou, who has looked absolutely flawless this weekend. Look at Randalou absolutely bringing the fight to the door of the Polishmans. The transition was beautiful. Body panels in the face. Randalou. Oh, wow, I thought that was going to be more contact once again. Randalou on the door and across the line.
He wants this win so bad. This is just incredibly intense driving from Oliver Randalou. He's doing what he normally does. He goes out, throws down a solid lead run, great line. And let's take a look here, Oliver Randalou, and how aggressive he is. As soon as they come over the crest, he's like, all right, it's go time. He is into the door. He makes contact, 4 or 5 times throughout this run. Powell, look at how calm he is. Preloads the car, adds a little bit of extra steering into it to get that car to weight transfer, snaps it over. Very, very calm through the rest of this. And may not even know how aggressive it is in behind him.
I want to see what happens from this angle, because it looked to me like Pavel Korpelinski goes very wide here. He does. He goes very wide, and it doesn't look like there was any contact in the car. Now, I may be wrong looking at it, maybe from a different camera angle.
It's
but
tough
it doesn't
to tell.
look.
No, from there, I mean, that's not definitive.
There was contact there when Randalou couldn't slow the car down, and nor could Korpelinski.
Yeah.
Now, as we say many, many times, we're not judges. This is just our honest opinion as drift fans. I wonder if Pavel Korpelinski, there was a chink in the armour.
It might be. It might be. Yeah.
The pressure.
There's a chance.
Yeah, the pressure of Randalou breathing down his neck. The Estonian wants it. As we say, it's been a while since he's had a podium and he would love another one. They fire down to initiation. Randalou tickles the Armco on initiation. This man is not messing around this weekend as he puts that car high and wide and he stares down the barrel of the track. Pavel Korpelinski looks for the side of the BMW on transition. It's absolutely beautiful, but there's no mistakes as Korpelinski goes wide again. He's on the inside edge of the track. Randalou goes wide and gets it across the line.
This is shades of Spain from last year with Randalou. This is the same type of driving we saw then. Pavel Korpelinski, this is a deep breath trying to go, oh my gosh, what just happened to my championship? This is wild.
The lead line from Randalou is absolutely phenomenal.
It's just nasty.
Look at this.
Just nasty, and it's smooth, and it gives Pavel every opportunity to get in there. It's like he's saying, okay, come on, let's go. Let's do this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to leave the door open for you. It's up to you to hit the door. And yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely crazy run from both these drivers. And right now, Judge is taking a hard look to see why Pavel Korpelinski ended up kind of shooting off line in the chase there. So there's going to be a lot of review on this because, oh, it looks like Korpelinski catches the wall.
Yeah. I was just looking back at the judges' replay. Look at this. Korpelinski runs the wall quite heavily.
Yeah.
I think that upsets the front wheels of the S14.
And just shoots them. Yeah.
Judges giving me a little wink across the commentary booth, and I don't know if that's a sign for tonight or if that's a sign that we're right. But I tell you what it is. It's a sign that there was a mistake from Pavel Korpelinski, and again, another chink in the armour from a man that I feel, Jacob, the pressure is too much.
Yeah, it's tough. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'll say it time and time again. He's not used to being in that position of being at the very top, and you can see
it in his face right now. Decisions in, slide him left for Randalou, right for Korpelinski. It's going to be Oliver Randalou getting the win, advancing through to the final four, and another upset at Drift Masters. When does the upset end here at 2026?
I mean, as soon as we get to the podium, that's it, because there's only going to be one driver here this weekend that's not upset. That's the top spot, and it might be one of these two drivers coming up.
Well, there might be some Irish tears spilt right now because one of these drivers is going to make it through to the final four. The other one is going to be packing the car in a trailer and making their way to Riga. It's been 1,077 days since Shanahan stood on the top step of a podium, and it was in Riga in 2023, Jacob.
Yeah, I remember where I was when that happened. It was an incredible time, and I mean, Jack showing again why he is such an amazing driver. 9 battles between them over the years. There it is. That's a very young Nick Knack.
It's a son and a very young Jack Shanahan. And another man that was on the same podium on the same weekend was Juha Rinnan.
Yeah.
Well, can Finland and Ireland do it once again and get him on the podium? It's going to be a battle of the ages. Jack Shanahan leads out James Dean, the machine, in the Ford Mustang RTR for a final spot in the final four. They fire to angle, straight back on throttle goes Shanahan, and Dean gets lost in the smoke, but now starts to creep up onto the door of the 2JZ powered Toyota GT86, and Dean is fighting for this one as Shanahan fires down onto outside zone 16, goes with him. There's no separating the two Irishmen as Dean fires through the smoke for the final outside zone. He's all over the side of Shanahan.
The immense amount of trust between these two is incalculable because they're neighbors. You know, they grew up together, and to get to see them back up on the world stage driving like this, you forget that you're straddling 1,000 horsepower and you're doing 150 kilometers an hour. It's just back to the old days of driving beat up cars in the field in Ireland again. That's what it feels like, and both of them just fighting for it. This is drifting at its absolute finest.
It certainly is at its absolute finest. Look at the onboard of Shanahan. This is clinical. Catches a little understeer there at 7 and makes it work, and he's absolutely dialed in and on the zone. And for me, James Dean, the chase. Look at that, 4 wheels locked up as he slides that car into the door of Shanahan's GT86. Beautiful stuff. And I tell you what, you can count on these two guys to produce greatness at every single event.
Yeah, every turn, every zone, every battle, it's going to be the highlight reel. And Now we get to see it again.
We certainly do get to see it again, but this time James Dean has to lead out Jack Shanahan. That Ford Mustang RTR reworked and redesigned for 2026, looking better than ever as it comes off the line and through the gears. Shanahan hammers into fourth gear and flicks that GT86 up to the side of the Ford Mustang. And look at this, Shanahan's GT86 is lost completely on the side of that Ford Mustang as Dean leads him down to outside zone 5. Shanahan waits for the transition and times it perfectly. Dean takes the back end off the car on the wall as Shanahan fires through the smoke. Can he repay the favour? He can, as he squeezes the door of Dean's Mustang.
I love it. I love it.
I see a mistake, though.
Yeah, so do I. We'll get there. I love this driving. That's all. It's just
beautiful.
everything. Yeah,
this is drifting.
It's no games. It's just going out and throwing down, and that's really what we all signed up for. Both drivers slinging their cars around, top of their game. There we go. You can see the beauty of it. James just a little wide on that one inside clip.
Yeah.
That might be the only thing.
Nope.
Oh, what am I missing?
There was another one.
All right. Well,
wait for outside zone 8.
I was going to say, feel free to point it out.
I will do. Don't worry. Wait for outside zone 8. The final part of outside zone 8. Look at this. Dean goes ever so slightly wide and drops one wheel over that white line.
You are absolutely grasping at straws here, sir. But I know that's where we're at.
This is what the judges are looking at, and I'm looking at the replay. Watch this. Dean goes a wheel over, and when you're talking about the best of the best, splitting hairs is the only place we can be.
I 100% agree, and that's fine with me. if it's like, oh, you know, James was 15 centimeters over in this spot and 10 in this spot, and that's going to be the difference maker, that's the best level of drifting you could ever ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Just beautiful, though. I mean, you can tell when two drivers trust each other and are just willing to go for it, and that's what you got to experience just now.
You certainly did. Well, here we go. It looks like the judges may have made a decision. They're still chatting amongst themselves. We'll see if it drops in. No decision dropping in yet from our judges. They're still discussing this one, Jacob, and maybe there was more to it than meets the eye. For me, there's a few little mistakes from Dean crept in. Well, decisions inside and left for Shanahan, right for James Dean. It's Jack Shanahan getting the win, advancing through to the final 4, and he takes down James Dean, and that will do his championship a world of good this weekend. And Jack Shanahan at the beginning of the weekend said he's driving for fun, the pressure is off.
And that's the scariest driver on the grid then. I mean, he's going to be bumping up a bunch of spots here by the end of this weekend as we now have our final 4 locked in.
We certainly do have our final 4 locked in, Jacob, and you can see 2 of them down there warming up tyres right now because they will be facing off for a spot in the final. Things are getting heated here in Finland, even though the cloud cover has got heavy and the hearts of the finish have got heavy because they want their man in the show. And this is how it's going to play out. It's going to be Benedictus Gerber to take on Juha Rittinen for a spot in the final. Then it'll be Oliver Randalou to take on Jack Shanahan for a spot in the final. The 2 losers of those battles will be in the 3rd and 4th place playoff.
Yeah, for the local fans, they get to see Juha Rittinen at least 2 more battles. So that's what you're going to get it. You're going to get 2 more. Hopefully it's going to be in the finals for him, but trying to run through a Benedictus Gerber this weekend is no easy ask, and they are on their feet, and rightfully so.
They certainly are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats. It's time for your final 4. And we're straight back into it. Lithuania's finest versus Finland's finest. 2 OGs of their own countries, 2 OGs of drifting. They go head-to-head right now, and look at this. Rittinen stares over at the back end of that yellow BMW thinking, there'll be a few more tyre marks on the side of that car by the time I'm finished with it, as Rittinen has a chat with our sideline Marshall Marcin. Benedictus Gerber, cool, calm and collected in that BMW, the visor down, he's ready for business.
Yeah, I mean, Gerber took out Shanahan earlier, not really due to mechanical, but then Simon Olsen, Piotr Vincek, that's a handy weekend already. And yeah, for Juha Rittinen, Mika Keskikorpi, Jarkko Jula, Kemp Piscolti, 2 of his countrymen. This is a wild battle we're about to witness.
Well, there we go, they're off the line and through the gears. It's going to be Gerber to lead out Rittinen for a spot in the final. Who is going to take it as Rittinen fires that car in aggressively onto the side of Benedictus Gerber's BMW. They fulfill all of those outside zones of the first part of the circuit. They now fire down the hill where Gerber seems to want to drive away, puts that car right where it needs to be and looks for the final outside zone. Lost in the smoke is Juha Rittinen, but now finds himself back into the zone and in the pocket.
Yeah, You called this very early on in practice that Sherba was going to be a driver to watch, and we're really, really seeing it. He came out to this track and started crushing things. So not all the way out to outside zone 1. That's the one spot I noticed. It did mean that he was a little bit inside on 2, but I don't think that's going to affect too much on Rittinen's game, who's same thing. He's been playing it safe, and we said earlier that yes, you're not going to win much by playing safe, but he's gone through a lot of drivers by just making sure that he's in a good spot and not overcommitting to anything. So consistency has been the game for Juha Rittinen throughout this, and Benediktus Sherba has just been all aggression. So a battle of 2 different strategies this weekend coming head to head. And Sherba, other than those small bits early on, he's just continuing on. He's picking up speed through every single run. He's fulfilling the rest of the zones, and Rittinen's always in the battle, but maybe not pushing too hard.
Yeah, I think Rittinen really needed to take a gamble on this one and push a little bit harder than he had in the previous battles. Look, we're in the final 4 now.
Yeah.
This is the business end of the deal. This is the thick end of the stick, as we like to call it.
We got tortoise in the hair going on right now, and I don't know if you remember how that story ended, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Well, Juha Rittinen maybe thought he could have did a little bit more, but now there's no time to think about that because he has to lead out Benediktus Sherba, and Sherba's in the perfect place to start to apply that pressure as they come off the line and through the gears. Sherba to chase in Juha Rittinen for a spot in the final contact on initiation. Juha Rittinen shuts it down. Benediktus Sherba keeps on with it, and the front end of that BMW punched in the face as the headlight starts to sag out of it. That beautiful yellow BMW now starts to get destroyed on the walls and the contact with Rittinen as he fulfills all of that final outside zone and across the line.
Yeah, Sherba just going for a party run on that one.
Yeah, so we see Juha Rittinen there making his way around the circuit and down, still driving. So not sure what happened there. Judges are going to be taking a replay on this. I wonder. The judges now going over and over the initiation. We're going to see a replay of this to see if we can kind of work out what happened on initiation, Jacob.
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking at this quite a lot because it's going to be where the decel is happening. We're going to be looking a lot at those red cones. So we'll be able to hopefully dial this in even more. And it's where the contact is versus where the red cones are, and that's the big thing that we want to watch. So we could check that same replay in slow motion here in a few minutes. I might be able to show you these spots, but it looks like that onboard Juha Rittinen, he's getting it done, and then he gets hit. So the judges are going to take a look at that. So let's take a look. We can probably pause it here right now. Oh, nailed it! Great job, guys. So you can already see, Sherba needs to be further over this way. He's kind of hoping that Juha's rear end is going to start to shoot over, and then he can make that dive in. But unfortunately, he's tipped the tail at this point, and there's nowhere else for him to go. The question is going to be, where did the contact keep going? If we can move ahead really, really slow, you'll be able to see it. And he's already making contact at that point. There, that cone back there, that orange one, that's the indicator of where the decel is going to begin, and it's just the timing of it. At least from my viewing on it, the judges are taking a lot of looks at it to be able to figure it out. So we'll get this top-down drone view. So Juha's got all this space. He can go all the way out to this section, and that's the line that allows the lead driver to go. And then let's pause it right about here. So Juha's got to get the initiation done. He's got it done before the line. He's already getting that car to come out. And he is allowed to decel. There's a red cone right there where that dot is. It's going to be a tough call. The judges are taking a lot of looks at this because there's a lot more going on than even what I'm showing you here. So I don't think there's going to be an easy decision on this one. We're going to have to go back and forth quite a lot, and the judges are going to give you the final rundown on it. But yeah, it's definitely a tough one. It sucks when a battle comes down to this, but it is what it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, and that's what it is. And pure aggression. Benediktus Sherba, look at that, front wheel's locked up as he tags that rear end of that GTA 6, and you can see Juha Rittinen goes for the handbrake to reinitiate both guys out of the car, and no one's sure what way this is going to go. And our judges taking a look back at the replay of different views and different angles.
Yeah, they're even taking a look at some other battles as well, just to kind of compare where the initiation's naturally happening and what other drivers have been doing as well. So, and what the chase driver can more or less predict, and also some precedent that was set earlier on in the battles. So, yeah, thankfully, Chris Witowski, our replay judge, best in the business. I mean, he's he is a judge himself, so he knows what the other judges are looking for.
Yeah.
His main responsibility is giving them the replay that they need to make the best decision possible.
Yeah, so. And they were going back to previous contact on initiation to see if it was similar, how they scored that, who was at fault for that.
Yeah.
Look, I would not want to be in the judge's position right now to deem anyone at fault for what happened. I know the Finnish fans hope that this swings in the way of Juha Rittinen, but I'm not sure. And look, the judges will make a decision, and we will see. And Juha Rittinen, he says, well, I'm pretty sure I know what way this is going to go, but who knows what way this is going to go until our three esteemed judges and our fourth judge on the AVS makes a decision. Here we go, slide them left for Rittinen, right for Churba. It's going to be Benediktus Churba. Benediktus Churba gets to the final of round 4 of Drift Masters 2026. David Kalas, we have to come to you. That was a very difficult decision.
Yeah, sorry that it took that long, but we needed to look into it. Problem of this situation is that there's mistake from both drivers, and we just need to find out who is more to blame. We even went back to look at the contact between Kuba and Diogo to compare it with this one, but here you can see that Juha is way too early on the handbrake, and the slowing down is even more visible. So we put it the mistake on Juha on this, even though we still believe that mistake was on both drivers.
Thank you very much, David. And there we go. You can see what it meant. And yeah, not an easy one. But as you said, you showed us where the D-cell was and where Juha was handbraking. Look, this isn't done just yet. We have one driver in the final. Churba makes his way into the final. Juha Rittinen. We haven't seen the end of him yet. It's the 3rd and 4th place playoff coming up for him. But we need to get someone who is going to battle. Who is it going to be? Will it be Oliver Randalou? Will it be Jack Shanahan? Shanahan slams the car door shut on that GT86. He sits in that lead position, the higher qualifier. Randalou with that visor down, absolutely focused, gives his thumbs up to Martin, slams the car into gear. They get the green light to go. It's going to be Shanahan to take on Oliver Randalou for the final spot in the final. Who will take it through as Shanahan flicks that car to an angle? Randalou's been on a mission this weekend. The chase game has been second to none, and he now starts to apply the same pressure to Jack Shanahan. Oh, and they're absolutely glued together at outside zone 5 as Shanahan transitions to 6. Randalou gives him the room to manoeuvre as he transitions through the smoke. Shanahan in outside zone 8, deep he goes, and Randalou's on the back bumper.
Yeah, it's more aggression from two very, very aggressive drivers. At this point in time, it's like, okay, I want a podium of some kind. I mean, everybody wants to win, but you can start to take a bit more risks, right? You can really start to try and push the pace here. Jack just a little bit off that inside zone, but everything else starting to come together, and there's Randalou. He is getting 3 taps in the door. He's got to back out. Does a good job of doing that before that zone because he's in so deep at that point in time. If he would have stayed in the pocket at that point, there's a good chance that he was going to get lost in the smoke and make a big, big mistake. So some over-aggression going into that part of the track. He's got to back out of it through that section. What are you looking at? I got to see some head shakes going on.
Yeah, just the timing of the transition for Oliver Randalou. He checked himself up, and then he finds himself on the inside. You can see him cut the track real bad, and it takes a minute to dive on Shanahan and outside zone 8. I think he threw a little bit away there for me, Randalou.
Yeah, I agree. I think he got very, very aggressive coming through down into the downhill section, and realized that if he didn't back out then, Jack's about to swing the car back around, and if you're on the wrong side of that, Jack's going to hit you.
I think Randalou goes a little early as well. I think he needed to hold on for just a split second because, look, he's almost straight line there. It just does carry a little bit of angle into outside zone 6, but yeah, it's not really what we would be looking for.
Yeah, I hear you there, and we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's made a couple mistakes previous, but then came out and crushed the lead. So let's see how he plays.
Well, let's see how he can do it again. He's going to have Shanahan breathing down his neck as they fire through the gear. Shanahan now fires that car in onto the side of that yellow E46 BMW. Shanahan starts to repay the favour as Randalou takes some nice high and wide in those perfect outside zones as Randalou now sets himself up for outside zone 6, and it's beautiful. Absolutely destroys the back end. Shanahan lost in the smoke though as Randalou now fires, hits the wall. And takes it off track across the line.
Wow, Randalou is just pushing to the absolute limit, and the question now is, did he push too far? Did he do too much? And what happened with Jack Shanahan through transition? You can still see the smoke billowing through the cockpit as he pulls back up to the start-finish line. So big initiation from both of them. Jack right where he needs to be. Randalou taking out a little bit of angle to try and pick up as much speed as he possibly can coming into the downhill section. Jack now in a really good spot, both of them transitioning side by side. That's what Randalou needed to do, was exactly what Jack did there. And that's, you know, kind of let them go a little bit earlier, but Jack,
oh my God,
gone. Absolute, there is nothing.
He was blinded.
Yeah.
He was absolutely blinded. We see it from that onboard.
That's driving by Braille at that point in time. There's nothing else you can do but
Jack's
just
off. Boom.
Yeah. Now I think okay, perfect. I wanted to see where Randalou was. He's not bad on that inside clip. Just Jack needed to be further on the inside, and then Randalou catches the wall, straightens. Not a complete straighten.
Yeah, he loses angle.
Loses angle. Better way to describe it.
He catches the wheel on the wall, loses angle.
Loses a lot of angle.
Yeah.
I mean, did you like kind of say, okay, Jack had a bit of a mistake at 8, so did Randalou, let's just nix both of those and move on to the next thing? I don't know. That's how I would do it. I'd be like, okay, cool, you both made a mistake there. Let's look at the other parts of this track. So we'll see. Judges got their call in, though.
Yeah, they certainly have got their call in. We're going to find out who it is going to be taking it through to the final to battle Benedictus Gerber. The back end of that BMW looks very battered. And look at this, the wheel on the back end of Randalou's car taking a beating off the wall. Who will be taking it through to the final? Who will be in the 3rd and 4th place playoff? We wait for that decision to drop in. As everyone around Ahvenisto, big smiles from these two guys because they drive so hard all the time. It's going to be sliding left for Randalou, right for Shanahan, and there we go. It's going to be Jack Shanahan taking it to the final of round 4 of Drift Masters here in Finland. Oliver Randalou, it's not the weekend over. He takes it to the 3rd and 4th place playoff against Finland's very own Juha Rinnan, and you see what it meant there for Oliver Randalou.
I don't know if you caught what Jack said. Before he left, he looks at me and goes, I'll see you on the podium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, throwing his support behind Oliver Randalou.
And there we go. That's what it meant to the team, the paddock, the guys down at the Shanahan camp. Very happy with that after such heartbreak at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, and here we go. Things are now locked in. Your playoff will be Oliver Randalou versus Juha Rintanen. And then in the finals, Jack Shanahan, Benedictus Gerber.
Well, those two guys have met a few times before, and it's been fireworks, that's for sure. So that will be an interesting final here at Drift Masters round 4. And you can see, look at that, the team down there, a quick show of appreciation. And I mean, the 3rd and 4th place playoff is definitely a spicy one because all of the fans right here, right now in Finland, are going to be pushing Juha Rintanen to that 3rd step on the podium.
Yeah, that's all they want, is they want that finished podium. They need it. I mean, they've come all this way, and I can understand how they feel right now.
Yeah, speaking of upsets, just look at who's in the final 4. Would you have said those guys at the beginning of the day? I said Gerber, and I'm going to flip over my piece of paper.
Oh, look at you.
And I've got Benedictus Gerber in the final, but not against Jack Shanahan. I've got him against another fellow Irishman.
No, I didn't write anything on the back of my paper, just doodles. But yeah, I honestly, I mean, Jack looked really good, but I don't think I would have picked this bracket. I really don't.
No. You couldn't have counted that one.
No, it's incredible. I mean, upset's been the theme of the weekend and kind of this season, and it's just continued on. So it looks like Randalou, after that contact with the wall, he's going to try and get, I believe, it's a lower control arm swapped out there.
Yeah, so his team down there, you can see working away on the car. Passeur's team down there as well, trying to help out. It looks like there isn't any damage. You can see the spare parts out there, ready to go on if needed. Maybe it was just a wheel. They were, you know, just checking over the car to make sure it's ready to rock and roll. Juha Rintanen should be ready to go for that 3rd and 4th place playoff. Team's still under the car, just making some small adjustments and maybe just a bent exhaust that needs a little pry back into shape.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to see drivers go out because exhausts are broken. So this is the time. Take as much as offered to you. And yeah, Ken Passer just taking a look. You know, making sure. Lead supervisor on that team now. Been promoted to supervisor.
Supervisor now, yeah.
Yep.
There we go, a lot of buzz down there, and you can see Randalou out of the car there, just having a chat to Nasser Al-Habali's team.
With that much speed, I've always carried.
And just taking a moment.
At first part it was okay, but in the middle of the corner it washed out and threw me off. But I've never hit the wall over there, so it was a bit too much speed.
There we go. Some inside information. The cool-down room. You wanted the cool-down room.
Thank you.
Red Bull TV provided the goods. We just had a listen in there, and Oliver Randleau saying never carried that much speed into outside zone 8, and that's why he went off track there.
Yeah. I think this is so important to understand exactly what's going through the driver's head at this point in time and what they're feeling and how everything is going for them as they.
So there we go. While we've got a few moments, let's take a look at Benedictus Road to the final, because it started off with a bye run earlier on today. And this is how it played out. It was Jack Shanahan, Connor Shanahan's car who broke in the burnout box, giving Benedictus Gerber that bye run, that gift into top 16.
Yeah, and as we said, we're happy it happened in the burnout box and not on course. And that long walk back to the pits means, you know, not great for Shanahan, but fantastic for Churba, getting that early momentum on in this. And I mean, listen, half a drifting is that luck, and that put him up against Simon Olsen, who seemed like he was on a hot streak, and unfortunately just didn't quite have enough in the tank to take down Benedictus Gerber top 16.
No, it came against a very, very strong and on-form Benedictus Gerber, and unfortunately for Simon Olsen, as much as he's been enjoying himself this weekend, it was the end of the road for the Norwegian. And then Gerber went forward to face off against a man that not a lot of people like to battle, and it was, of course, Viensek took down the multiple Drift Masters champion.
Yeah, in spectacular fashion as well. I mean, Gerber just very consistent, but super aggressive. I mean, he's playing the battles exactly like he needs to. You can see just the amount of grip he's got dialed into that car, lifting wheels and taking the battle to, as you said, the multiple-time champion. And you can see the weight coming off his shoulders as he takes down Piotr Vinsek. And that puts him to move on against Juha Rintanen in a real interesting battle.
Yeah, and Juha Rintanen just really didn't have an answer for Benedictus Gerber. Gerber is just the lead line. The chase has been phenomenal from Gerber. The car, him, everything seems to be working in perfect harmony this weekend. And yeah, Benedictus Gerber, look, if he wins, could be the fourth different face on the podium this year.
Yeah, you're right. I think, we're gonna get a fourth different podium no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah. So this year just continues to entertain and shock. Is what we thought was going to be kind of a simple championship race is thrown into chaos once again here in Finland.
Yeah, things are being thrown into disorder this weekend, and in the championship as we hit the halfway point, don't forget in just 10 days' time we are heading off to Riga. But Jack Shanahan's road to the final was an easier one. It wasn't an easy one, sorry, as well. He took on Mads Andersen. There was no gifts for Jack Shanahan. Unfortunately, in top 32, he had to get the job done, but Mads Andersen just falling foul to the young Irishman.
Yeah, not able to complete that out. I mean, that's a really tough battle to get in top 32, but I think we'll see Mads around a little bit more in a very unique engine platform, and that put him on against Jason Benet, and this saw a lot of contact. Benet having to push really, really hard, and unfortunately touching the back end of that 8.6 and spinning Jack out, and that wheel went for a bit of an extra ride. Jack able to get hands on the car, getting things back out to battle, and taking down Jason Benet in fine form.
Yeah, and then he took down his hometown friend, his hometown hero, took down the one and only, the machine, James Dean. Shanahan once again on an absolute flying form this weekend, and that mentality coming into round 4 saying, look, I'm not in the championship fight, maybe it's time to just have some fun and release the pressure a little bit, you know, let's take the pressure off the shoulders.
Yeah, and that's been what Jack has been all about. He said in interviews earlier on that, being further back in the championship fight means that, there's no pressure. I can just go out and drive my drive. And we've said time and time again, that's the most dangerous driver out there. And he showed it, especially here against Oliver Randleau. He's just taken, Randleau into deep waters and just letting it all hang out. This is just a very relaxed Jack. We've had some time to hang out with him in the pits. Yeah. He's chill.
I mean, look, between top 32 and top 16, he was down in Nasser Al-Habali's pits, giving the guys advice. Oh, we have that part. Oh, do you need that? Go over and ask the boys. His team was down there working on the car. That's how relaxed Jack Shanahan was this afternoon. And so still some repairs going on the back of Oliver Randleau's car. And hopefully that car will be ready for battle to take on Juha Rintanen. You can see Randleau in the car, poised and ready for action. And the Drift Masters staff down there just getting that information, relaying it back to our track staff here in Finland.
Well, they got the phone out to check camber on it.
It's a perfect way to do it.
Yeah, it'll do something. They'll check it again once that car's back down on the ground, and they're probably going to start getting a few nudges here from the staff, being like, all right, let's make our way here, boys. And listen, if I'm Oliver Randlew, I'm going to take every second they'll give me.
I mean, look, he's going against a very on-form Juha Rinnan in front of, as we say, the home crowd. This is his home track. If anyone knows it, he's the man that knows this track. Randlew's want to come out here in this 3rd and 4th place playoff in best possible shape.
Yeah, you don't want to rush this at this point in time. If you want to be standing on the podium, you're going to take as much time as given to you and make sure that everything is completely locked in. So hopefully just the final nuts and bolts here, just making everything is torqued down. Hopefully off to the races, quite literally, here in a moment. Yeah. And thankfully that is a righty-tighty and not a lefty-loosey, which means we're on the home stretch.
We're on the home stretch now, yeah. We're going the right way with the nuts and bolts, that's for sure. And we know that down there in the Shanahan pits and the Cherba pits, they'll be getting those cars prepped and ready for action as well, and pulling up for that final battle. Heat 32 of the day, round 4, nearly over. Jacob, Finland's been incredible.
It's been amazing. I mean, from the food to the culture to the fact that the sun doesn't go down until 10 o'clock at night, it has been great. We were hanging out and, you know, enjoying the best that Finnish culture has to provide. Just hanging out, walking around the streets.
Yeah, it's been a very good weekend here in Finland at a brand new circuit. You know, we love the power park, but it's time for us to expand, get bigger, move around the country and try and find somewhere a little faster. And I think we found probably one of the fastest tracks on the calendar.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be hard to beat Latvia coming up, but this is I mean, it's very reminiscent of it. Jaakko Jula having a great time. I mean, he's got such a great setup here. Wait till you realize where he is sitting right now.
Yeah, that's on top of his lorry. So he's sat on top of his rig at the moment. He has a viewing platform up there.
There it is.
Which is perfect. Look at this.
Sitting pretty.
Yeah.
One of the nicest rigs in the entire paddock.
Unbelievable.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, this facility, everything has been great. There's Oliver Randlew now back on the ground, getting a little bit of last-minute advice.
Yeah, Jaakko, you could just see down there Kevin Passeur, the fellow Estonian, talking to Oliver Randlew. Look at that, fist bump, giving him some advice, and the rest of the team now walking up to say, "You ready to go?" You can see the young lady in the background poised and ready. You see the hands together like, please, please can we take home a podium this weekend?
Yeah, it's stressful not just for the driver but for the team, because now their work is done. They just have to sit and wait and hope that everything that they've done is correct. That car is ready to go. But now, as he makes his way to the burnout box, no more hands on the car. It is just time to party.
Great to see as well all the rest of the teams and the crews around the paddock giving him a round of applause as he makes his way back out, and everyone's so supportive, and we see that as earlier on all the teams helping out with Nacer Harbali. Well, there we go. Juha Rinnan is ready for action. Oliver Randlew pulls up to the tyre warming area. Marshall down there, Martin will send him in there to warm some tyres, and then we'll get these guys onto the start line to do our 3rd and 4th place playoff battle. And there we go. Cars are being requested to the tyre warming area. Jacob, it's been a long road to get to here. 40 drivers whittled down to just 4, and only 3 steps on the podium away.
Yeah, it's been an incredible weekend, to say the absolute least. I mean, some amazing driving, and I mean, fingers crossed. Very excited to come back here already for next year.
You plant the seed?
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, this is how you make change.
This is how you make change. Just keep pushing.
Yeah.
Keep asking.
Keep bugging people.
Well, there we go. Both guys down there, warming tyres on the backs of those cars. They're going to pull up and meet Martin on that start line for 2 more runs of this circuit. 1 more lead, 1 more chase to see who can take 3rd step on the podium. Both guys been fighting hard. We know Juha Rinnan will have all of those Finnish fans willing him along. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the playoff. Well, there we go. Randlew pulls in to the lead position, the higher qualifier. Our start line marshal Martin has donned his shirt for the final battles of the day.
Love it. In uniform. What a dapper gentleman. Taking some last-minute looks. Oliver Randlew locked in as always, hyper-focused, ready to go, and Inspector Marson giving him the thumbs up. Juha Rintanen, this will be it. The last looks we get at him before he takes that vehicle to war against Oliver Randlew. Locked in, pounds the steering wheel, and we are ready to go.
Yeah, we are ready to go. The last time that Randalou stood on the podium was Spain last year. The last time that Rittinen was this far in competition was a fair few months ago. What can he do right now as he fires that car in? Randalou stands on the accelerator. Rittinen goes for a big dive on initiation. Randalou pushes that BMW high and wide and into those outside zones as Randalou looks to drive away from Rittinen down to outside zone 6, but Rittinen can't be shaken as he dives through the smoke. A brave move from Juha Rittinen as Oliver Randalou puts the car to the edge of the circuit and across the line.
Well, we said Juha's got to get aggressive. He's made it this far by just, making sure he's checking all the boxes, but now it is time to erase the entire paper and rewrite how he's driving. He does such a good job of getting super aggressive here. Randalou going a little bit wide on inside zone 2, and then Juha now having to fight back. Randalou looks really good through. He's still wide again. He's trying to hang that car out as far as he possibly can. But Juha Rittinen now goes for that dive that we wished he would have made a little bit earlier on, but he's getting aggressive again. Randalou, not a ton of angle coming through 5. Rittinen taking that as an advantage and now dives into that pocket. Look at it. Takes him a second, gets that car out. There's Rittinen on a slightly tighter line to try and gain as much proximity as he can. Fires off. And how do things look here as we come to our final zone and Rittinen starts to close that gap?
Yeah, he starts to close the gap right at the end of the run. A few mistakes creeping in there for the lead of Oliver Randalou. We can see a fresh, clean windscreen for Jack Shanahan in that GTA 6. The crew are ready to rock and roll for that final battle as Rittinen now pulls up to the line to lead out Oliver Randalou. The final battle of our playoff is underway when that light goes green. And will it be Finland who stands on the third step of the podium as they slam through the gears? Estonia to chase them down. They fire in, and it's lovely from both of them. But now the pressure starts to be applied by Oliver Randalou. The Estonian starts to wind the screw back in as he's done all day to every single driver. They fire into outside zone 6 and Randalou can't be shaken. They pick up all of the inside zones. Randalou is on the door of Juha Rittinen across the line.
So massively aggressive. We knew that is what Oliver Randalou was going to do. He's been doing it in the chase the entire weekend, whether it was the first lap of practice or here fighting for the last spot on the podium. Oliver Randalou he's just awakened again. He's found his pace, he's comfortable with the car, he's loving this track, and just wants to be on the door of everybody that he's battling against. Juha Rittinen giving him a great lead for Randalou to be able to chase down, looking very stable, not overshooting on that zone, not overcommitting at any point in time, but Oliver Randalou just wants this to be a bar fight. He wants to get in there, pound the door, cause chaos, and make sure that the judges just go, wow. So where this is going to go, I have no idea, but I can tell you this is still going to be a memorable battle.
Well, does the proximity of Randalou outweigh the mistakes in the lead line from Randalou, or does Juha Rittinen stand tall for Finland this weekend on the third step of the podium? We will announce it, ladies and gentlemen, when we get a decision from our judges. All I know is that these two guys have fought tooth and nail all weekend to be here, to be in this playoff, and both guys deserve a step on the podium.
Yeah, is it going to be Mr. Consistent or Mr. Aggressive? Which way will the judges go as both of them getting out of their cars now? I mean, either way, for both of these drivers, no matter what decision we see here in a moment, they both need to be very proud of the performance they put on here in front of this crowd.
Yeah, they certainly do. 15,000 people have packed into Ahvenisto Race Circuit this weekend to see history made as Driftmasters joined the racetrack for the first ever time, and we wait to see who'll be the third step on the podium. They both look across at the big screen to see who will be. Decisions in, start them left for Randalou, right for Rittinen. It's going to be Oliver Randalou takes third step on the podium at Driftmasters round 4 here at Ahvenisto Race Circuit in Finland. A massive shout out to Juha Rittinen. What an incredible drive from that young man. To support the Finnish drivers, to support Finnish drifting the way he has, he's done the country proud.
Yeah, might have missed that step just by a little bit, but I can tell you one thing, he's first in the hearts of so many people here in attendance this weekend, and congrats to Oliver Randalou. Yeah, well-deserved podium.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you can see what it meant down there for the team, and a tough weekend, but a weekend well fought and rewarded in the end for the Estonians as they get onto the podium. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Tyres are being warmed on the back of the finalists. The two guys that have worked harder than anybody else and have pushed themselves to the limit this weekend. Two of the fastest guys on track make their way to the start line. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for greatness. It's the final. So there we go, they pull to the line. Jack Shanahan from Ireland sits in the lead position. Benediktas Čerba from Lithuania hasn't won a round of Drift Masters.
Wow.
He would love nothing more than to stand on the top step of the podium, but what can he do against a man that's been 1,077 days since his last win? A man that had given up on the championship fight in 2026, a man that said, what's the point anymore? I'm going to come here for fun, I'm going to enjoy my driving, and I'm going to battle hard, and battle hard is what he's done all day. But now he has one of the fastest drivers on the circuit. The Lithuanian Čerba leaves the line and chases down Shanahan, as Shanahan fires that car in. Čerba tucks into formation, and Shanahan wants to be on that perfect lead line, and he is. But there's Čerba on the rear wheel, starts to hunt down the Irishman as they push deep to outside zone 5. Onto the wall they go. Čerba fires it in backwards. Oh! Mistake from Čerba as he throws it off track. Shanahan into the final outside zone and across the line.
What just happened? What just happened? Benediktas Čerba looked like he was unstoppable in the chase. He had so much proximity, so much aggression and anger in that following position. And it looked like he's the only driver that could hang with Jack Shanahan. So let's take a look here. Čerba already on a tighter line, trying to keep up with the incredibly fast Irishman. As now we start to make our way over the crest and down the hill. Jack Shanahan with a big angle as he heads out towards the wall. And Čerba just fighting to make sure he can hang. And you can see how big that roller coaster drop is. There's Čerba as he looks over. And we're just getting teased with the incident here. What ended up happening? Jack Shanahan looks good. Čerba goes for the dive.
Oh, he does make contact with Shanahan. Makes contact onto the door of Shanahan. Watch Shanahan's car as he comes through outside zone 6. Oh, he just missed it from that shot. Watch Shanahan's car as Čerba comes in. 4 wheels locked.
Oh,
boom.
man, big contact. Yeah, you can see the tire marks there left on the side of Jack's car. And Čerba's just trying to hang.
Yeah, Čerba just can't slow that car down enough.
Yeah, and man, and good on Jack for not over-rotating there. We talked about it at the top of the show. We've talked about it since this morning. You can throw up to 90, and Jack just on the inside of that. Very calculated, still stylish. Čerba now, though, all of the weight is on him. Can he win from the lead? Can he force a mistake from Jack Shanahan? This has got to be the lead drive of Benediktas Čerba's life.
It certainly has, and we know he's been the fastest man on the circuit since practice on Friday. Now he needs to put it into effect. Can he drive away from Shanahan? Can he cause an upset? It's going to have to be a huge upset if he's going to want to overturn this as they slam through the gears. Čerba fires into initiation and stands on the accelerator. But Jack Shanahan won't want to go down without a fight as Čerba puts that car to the edge of the circuit. Shanahan gives him the room to maneuver. Shanahan holds off ever so slightly, looks for the flick back as they go down onto the wall. Shanahan will make the dive through the smoke onto the door, and the final outside zone as Čerba gets it up and across the line.
Ah, Čerba did everything he needed to do. He had to throw down a big run. He had to throw a ton of smoke at it. Big angle, tons of speed. All you're trying to do is shake off that chase driver, but good luck with Jack Shanahan. And this shows the maturity as he has grown as a driver, because the Jack Shanahan of a few years ago would have just tried to door him the entire way. Would have, just said, no, I treat every battle the same way. But now realizing, hey, I got to be in the fight. I got to make sure the chase is active, still put some pressure in, still make it memorable, but make sure that I don't do anything silly to knock myself out of this battle. Čerba, though, he's trying. He's trying to outrun Jack Shanahan, which it feels like an impossible task, as you can see. Jack, and this is just a Sunday drive. For him, this is as chill as it gets. He knows what he needs to do, completely calculated. And look at the rear tuck of Čerba as he loads that car, coming over the crest of the hill, just fighting for his life and hoping there is an absolutely rare mistake from Jack Shanahan behind him.
Yeah, Shanahan wasn't going to make a mistake. He knew what he had to do. He kept it clean, but he was in the fight, and he still put on a show for the fans. It just goes to show you, Čerba wasn't going to go down without throwing everything he had on the line. It was an incredible lead line, and again, incredibly quick from the Lithuanian. Whatever happens this weekend, Čerba should hold his head high. And look at that, look what it meant to Connor Shanahan as he says, yep, #1, baby. Puts his finger in the sky, and he knows what it means, and he knows that the Shanahans can be taking home the top step on the podium this weekend here, round 4 of Drift Masters in Ahvenisto Race Circuit in Finland. It's been an absolutely incredible weekend, Jacob.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and I mean, it's tough to come to words with how stunning this entire event has been, from the views to the action to the people to the food to everything. I already miss this place.
Well, here we go. It looks like our decision is going to drop in. Slide them left for Cherba, right for Shanahan. The winner of round 4 is Jack Shanahan. Jack Shanahan wins at round 4 of Drift Masters 2026. He gets himself on the top step of the podium at a brand new circuit. And Benediktas Cherba gets himself on the podium in 2026 in second place. A steely drive, an incredible drive, but Shanahan is the man that comes out on top. It's been 1,077 days. We'll reset the counter because we're back to 0, baby.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Back to 0, but right on top. Number 1, Jack Shanahan, well deserved. And I mean, all of Ireland right now is cheering. What an incredible drive. Benediktas Cherba, nothing to balk at. That was an amazing event for him. And Oliver Randall taking that 3rd spot. What an incredible day.
Yeah, well, Jane is down there with Jack Shanahan. Jane, what a day for the Shanahans.
Jack Shanahan, you are the winner of Drift Masters Round 4 in Finland. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Oh, unbelievable, unbelievable. To be honest, this has been a long time coming back around, to be honest. I'm very emotional. It's a hell of a roller coaster having this as your job, to be honest. And when you have moments like this, it makes it all worthwhile, you know. And yeah, we worked hard this weekend. To be honest, I didn't think I had it in me to do this today, but yeah, I'm very happy, very, very happy.
It's been specifically 1,077 days since you were in podium. Tell me what's going on in your mind when you're going to step in there.
It's been a long 1,000 and whatever days, I tell you that, to be honest. Every weekend we come to Drift Masters, I've tried to, you know, want to get back on the top step every time. Like, we're always trying, there's no doubt about it, and sometimes we try too hard. Even yesterday we tried our best to be the best showman here, and I think we pulled that off. And then in briefing we had an argument with the judges, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do exactly as they want me to do today, and I'm going to prove to them that I can win. So yeah, I'm happy, I'm so happy. But massive thank you to everyone, all the team, everyone, my family, Connor, Corey, you're at home, thank you very much. All the help, but yeah, unbelievable, I'm so happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Drift Masters Round 4, Jack Shanahan!
Well, there we go, an emotional Jack Shanahan. You can see what it meant to everyone, and it meant a lot to that man, Connor Shanahan, because the assist from Jack Shanahan has helped out Connor in his championship fight, that back-to-back championship that he's looking for. It might not have been the weekend that Connor was looking for, but I tell you what, Jack helped him out. This is our final results list. Jack Shanahan takes the win here at round 4 of Drift Masters in Finland, a brand new Ahvenisto Race Circuit. Benediktas Cherba comes 2nd, Oliver Randall in 3rd, and Juha Rinnan doing it for Finland in 4th.
Yeah, big things for the championship race right now. I mean, that's going to catapult Jack up at least a few spots, and it also means that I mean, Paul Korpelinski isn't able to extend that lead over Connor Shanahan that much. I mean, it's going to be a shakeup for sure, and there's still more rounds to go as we see the final points coming in for the rest of these competitors. A lot of these drivers, you know, happy to get the points that they are.
They certainly are. Yeah, look, every point at this stage of competition matters to get yourself inside that top 10. You know, to try and secure as much as you can to be crowned a finisher. And this is how the championship looks right now. Korpelinski still leads the championship, but look where Jack Shanahan has jumped into. 5th place for Shanahan. Viensek in 3rd, Dean in 2nd. 20 points separating the top 3 right now. Next up, we head to one of the toughest circuits on the calendar. It's Riga, baby, where those guys fire. Now, like an incredible circuit, surrounded by walls. This is what's coming up next. Well, in just 10 days' time, we head to the city of Riga in Latvia because we are back to see who will be crowned the King of Riga, where these Titans go head-to-head for one more time in 2026 before we start to kick off the thick end of the championship. Finland, you've been amazing. Ahvenisto Race Circuit, well, hopefully we'll see you soon. From me, from Jacob, from Jane, we'll see you all very, very soon. It's goodbye from us.